guys, Dr. Will here from Miami Spine and Performance. Today we're going to deviate from our usual, sort of pain relief type of routine or our adjustments, and we're going to talk about strength and conditioning for Jiu Jitsu. So for those of you that follow the channel or follow my practice or know me personally, you know that I'm an avid grappler, avid Jiu Jitsu practitioner, Muay Thai. I love martial arts, but one of the things that I constantly see is a lot of injuries in the training room. And I chalk up a lot of these injuries to guys and gals not doing strength and conditioning outside of the mat, right? So a lot of people go in, they train 4 or 5, 6 days a week, just doing jiu-jitsu, but they're not really exposing their joints to any load. They're not really doing any controlled training. Everything is live sparring and things on the mat. So I highly encourage a lot of my patients and just colleagues from jiu-jitsu to pursue strength and conditioning, but a lot of times people don't know what to do. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of guidelines on what you should be thinking about when you're doing strength training and conditioning training for jiu-jitsu. Okay. So again, these are all guidelines. So depending on your age and your time availability, your body, and all that kind of thing, there's a lot of variability in here. But I'll give you guys some general principles. So first is that I think for most people, so for 90 to 95% of the average jiu-jitsu practitioner, 2 to 3 days a week is a great amount to get in the gym, right? If we're saying on average people are training maybe 3 or 4 times a week in jiu-jitsu, 2 to 3 times a week is pretty reasonable for strength and conditioning training. If you are training 2 to 3 days a week, I would advise doing full body training, especially if you're just doing twice a week, because if, for example, every Monday you're training your upper body, well then your upper body is not going to get touched again until the following Monday. And typically, most muscle groups recover within 3 days or so. So you do want to be hitting muscle groups twice a week to kind of maximize the benefits. So you can get around that by just doing full body training. You can split up your movement patterns though. So maybe Monday you can do a push dominant day where you're doing things like chest press, overhead press, squatting, so chest, shoulder, tricep, quadricep exercises. And then on Thursday you're doing pulling exercises. So you're doing pull-ups, bent over rows, rear delt flies, RDLs, hamstring curls, things like that. If you do decide to train 3 days a week, you could potentially do an upper, lower, and full body day. But for the most part, you don't want to be doing a typical bro split, so an arm day, a shoulder day, because you're just not doing enough sessions per week to warrant that kind of training. Now, when it comes to the conditioning side of it, you want to be trying to replicate the time domain of your sport, right? So if you're somebody that competes in jiu-jitsu, or even if you're a hobbyist, most of your rounds are going to be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, right? Very uncommon for a jiu-jitsu match to go half an hour unless you're competing at the highest level, you're an ADCC champion level, or you're doing a no time limit match. But that's 1% of the jiu-jitsu population. Most people are going in 6-minute rolls. And what conditioning can do for you outside of the mat is it can allow you to do a better job of pacing yourself, right? So as you're going into a jiu-jitsu roll, a lot of people, particularly early on, make a big mistake of gassing out during the first 30 to 45 seconds, really emptying the tank, and then having almost no energy for the rest of the round. And you'll see the really good guys and gals, or the more experienced athletes, are able to come in and maintain a pace or even increase their pace throughout a round. So what you can do is you can do, Metcon or metabolic conditioning type of workouts, and you can pace them in a way that you're replicating the round. So maybe you're doing a workout that's 4 rounds of 10 kettlebell swings and 10 calories on the assault bike. So you can time each round, and then you can actually try to hold or increase your time throughout the workout. That way you get comfortable at understanding what type of pace that you need to hold on to in order to actually hold or increase your pace over a 5 to 10 minute time domain. So I'm personally a big fan of kind of trying to replicate the time domain for jiu-jitsu. Not to say we're doing a lot of sport-specific training, because I think if you're only 2 to 3 days a week in the gym, you need to be focusing on compound movements and strength training. I don't think personally there's a lot of value in going in the gym and spending 45 minutes to an hour trying to do jiu-jitsu specific exercises. I think you get enough of that on the mat. So my recommendation is, when you're going to the gym, do the exercises that you're going to get the most bang for your buck and have the best stimulus to fatigue ratio, right? So that's a bench press, either with dumbbells or a barbell, maybe a machine press, overhead pressing, heavy rows, right? So dumbbell rows, bent over rows, cable rows, lat pull downs, and pull-ups. Shoulder accessory exercises like upright rows and lateral raises, and then arm training, hammer curls, easy bar curls, skull crushers, dips, things like that, and then some heavy abdominal training, right? So maybe some planking and side planks and different variations of Turkish get-ups or things like that. But I would really advise you to maybe use some jiu-jitsu specific stuff to warm up, but I wouldn't go overboard with trying to replicate a jiu-jitsu round in the gym. Focus on getting strong, focus on putting on high quality muscle mass so you can fill into your weight class, and then use the conditioning work to try to work on your pacing, right? So again, even the conditioning work doesn't have to be grappling with somebody, right? We're already spending 5 hours a week grappling, so now we can use things that are low impact on the body, like the rower, like an assault bike, like other calisthenic exercises, burpees and jump rope. We can use low impact exercises to try to replicate the time domain so that when we go back to the mat, we have an idea of how intensely we should be pushing around so that we can try to peak towards the later phase of that round when your opponent is gassed out, exhausted, and ready to give up, okay? So again, guys, just to overview, strength and conditioning for BJJ, I would recommend 2 to 3 days a week for most practitioners, right? So that could be Monday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, something like that. Predominantly full body training using compound exercises, highest bang for your buck exercises. So don't go in the gym and do, all kinds of little arm exercises for 45 minutes. Hit the big muscle groups. Those are the ones that are going to give you the most strength, and those are the ones that are going to allow you to pack on high quality muscle mass so that you can be very strong for your weight class and you can be strong and durable on the mat. Conditioning, we want to focus on metabolic conditioning type of workouts that are within that sort of 5 to 10 minute domain. So think a typical CrossFit Metcon using predominantly low impact movements such as bike, burpees, rower, kettlebell swings, dumbbell snatches, and other things where we're using our full body, but they're not overly taxing, like things like doing repetitive deadlifts and power cleans. Okay, guys? So give this a try. If you want more specific information on programming, or if you want customized programming, that is something I offer through the practice. I do remote programming through TrueCoach for grapplers and regular folks that just want to get in great shape. So please reach out, Miami Spine and Performance on Instagram, or you can comment on the YouTube video, or you can go to our website, of course. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it.